Welcome back to the Clem Haskins Show. I just can't put it into words better than Ralph Gazzo and Trevor Fleck captured it in the locker room.
I tell you what, that's fantastic. And they put the music with it. Those guys do a fantastic job. Ralph and Trevor, just a tremendous job editing stuff and getting the right capture. So my players mean a lot to me. We work hard together, but you know, we work together, we cry together, we do everything together as a group of young men and the coaching staff. So I was just letting them all know there how much I appreciate the effort and bringing this Big Ten championship to University of Minnesota.
Well put. You go against Illinois, the only team that had beaten you in the Big Ten. Was revenge a factor?
Well, it's somewhat a factor. Anytime someone beats you, you want to make sure to revenge yourself for that. But also you must remember, we won this basketball game. Sam played, not a healthy Sam Jacobson too. And when he played 22 gutty minutes, and I was really proud for his effort. But most important thing is, if he'd been on target, that's another 10 or 15 points we'd missed in this basketball game. It wouldn't have been as close.
No question, but you did go inside and use one of your strengths early on. That high-low game was as good as we've seen it all year, John Thomas and Courtney James.
We executed probably better in this ball game than we have any time this year. We got the ball to the high post to John or Courtney or Quincy, and they made the inside pass. Just outstanding passing.
This is what you want to see with these two big guys. Get them the ball, let them finish it. Like here, Courtney.
Yes, Courtney runs the floor for a big guy. He's running the floor extremely well, so we got to get the ball out and give him an opportunity to get those layups and dunks on the break.
Here's a nightmare, Kawan Garris. This guy is about as good as it gets at times.
He made some clutch shots against us, you know, big-time threes. He's just a clutch player. Very, very good basketball player.
Speaking of clutch players, Bobby Jackson.
Bobby Jackson is also a big-time clutch player. He made 2 or 3 outstanding plays in this game here of all times. We'll go down in history. We'll show this for many, many years to come.
But you set the tempo inside, and you said, we're going to take the ball into the paint early.
We took it inside. There's a nice drive by John. John and Courtney really played passing and catching there in the first half. Did a great job with it.
Eric Harris, his baskets are many times clutch.
Clutch baskets, you know, he spots up with a 3. Once you get his feet set, he really knocks those jumpers down.
Charles Thomas again gave you a spark off the bench.
Here's a great rebound by Bobby here and hit Charles on like a quarterback in football. A touchdown pass there for a layup. A great pass for Bobby and finished for Charles.
It was tied up 30-30 at the break. Bobby Jackson was off to a quick start with 7 points and 3 assists. And the Gophers were controlling the blocks. John already had 7 points and 4 rebounds in the second half. It continued to stay seesaw, but again, your inside game here.
Inside game, Sam kept the ball alive there, and Courtney finished up with a nice dunk.
Miles Tarver comes up with a big basket. He doesn't score a lot, but every once in a while he'll put one in at a key situation.
Key situation is a great offensive rebound here, and he puts it back with that left hand, and he's really playing outstanding basketball on defense and rebound the ball for us.
How good is Bobby Jackson? I mean, this exemplifies what he's all about.
Here's one of the best basketball plays of all time. He fought this young man off here to get the ball and go down here for a layup and for a tough 3-point play. It takes great athletic ability and great strength to make that play.
And he's only 6 feet tall. Charles Thomas, he has accepted his role this year and played a key role in this team's Big Ten title.
Here's timing just outstanding with Bobby and Charles here. Really, Bobby rebound the ball and Charles take off and give him a nice look.
You mentioned Sam was a little under the weather, but he came up a couple of times with big plays. Here, offensive rebound.
Here's 2 big-time offensive rebounds. He missed a free throw here, and Sam stayed with it to get a tip in.
Down the stretch, though, they take the lead right here. Bryant Notary.
Brian knows to get a dunk and a put back there, but the main thing is here, this team knows how to win. You can see we have enough patience right there to reverse the basketball over to Charles into John, and that's why I talk about having confidence and trust each other and faith that if someone else will make the shot if it's close to the basket.
Because Charles Thomas could have stopped and spotted that one up, but he had the faith in John Thomas.
To throw it inside and Big John go to the free throw line and win the basketball game, hit 2 big ones.
How concerned were you here down the stretch? They had one more chance to win it, but they didn't.
They did not win it. We wanted to stay home on defense and stay down low and not let the guys get inside of us and break us down with a drive. Miles Tarver also did a good job of slowing the ball down. We put him on the basketball so they could not get a real quick outlet pass. So everybody did their job in the final second.
Well, John's 2 free throws sealed the win, 67-66. Bobby Jackson led the way with 18 points and 6 rebounds. Charles Thomas provided a big spark off the bench with 9 points in just 17 minutes. Well, with the 2 wins last week, the Gophers remain at number 2 in the rankings, behind Kansas, followed by Kentucky, Utah, and Wake Forest. We all know Coach is a Kentucky native, and whenever he gets the chance, he heads back home to his farm in Campbellsville to relax and spend time with his family. The Campbellsville community is going crazy over the Gophers, and there's an extra sense of pride seeing them ranked ahead of the Kentucky Wildcats.
I get a lot of ribbon from some of my co-workers, but I think Minnesota is definitely number 2 and Kentucky is 3.
That's my main man, your younger brother, Paul.
Because Paul would say that if we was 300, we'd still be number 2 in the country, number 1 in his mind, his heart. But most important thing is he's being honest with that. The Kentucky really support Kentucky basketball. You know, Louisville, University of Kentucky, Western Kentucky, etc. But man, they really jumped on the bandwagon. They're really for Minnesota at the present time too.
And they've all got those dishes so they can pick it up on MSC.
You know, I coach a show tonight. They watched that. I want to thank them for watching the show, and they watch all the games. So we want to appreciate their support throughout Kentucky. It's been fantastic.
And a big hello to that group watching in Kentucky tonight. Well, it's more than locals going crazy over the Gophers. This has become a national story. In fact, Sports Illustrated was in town all last week working on a feature story about Clem and his squad.
We haven't spent many of our pages over the years on Clem and the Gophers. We really haven't. And last year we had a chance to do it on Gene Cady and Purdue. Long overdue. And our paying attention to this team, I think, is overdue too. So it's a little bit of, it's kind of a lifetime achievement award sort of thing.
Well deserved. What does it mean to have Sports Illustrated in town?
Well, I think it means a whole lot personally, but also it tells you about our program. We can bring people in like that. And Alex, who are from Sports Illustrated, to look at University of Minnesota. It means a lot for the future. Let people know this is a solid program, not only basketball, but academics for your kids to attend.
Let's regress to the past, talking about last Wednesday night. You played Ohio State. Certainly not your best game of the year, but you made a statement. You don't have to play your best basketball always to win.
Not really. So defense is the key here. We could not find the bucket early. We made some shots, but our defense kept us close. We only gave up 48 points for the night. You can see there, Bobby got us on the board right away. Here, defense again. We get a nice break out here, outlet pass.
But have you ever seen this before? Courtney James, have a player hit his head on the backboard?
Not the first time a guy hit a hit on the board, and that was really a scary scene if you look at that. He could end his career. He wound up, bumped his head, wound up putting 12 stitches in his forehead, but he came back in the second half and did a great job.
And in the meantime, people like John Thomas filled the void.
Big John took over inside. There was a nice pass from Miles Towers, Big John. John has been very consistent the whole year for us, though.
Sam Jacobson spots up that three. If he sees an opening, he can hit it.
Big Sam is really shooting that ball extremely well for us. We want to get him back healthy as we head to Michigan this week, because, boy, we got to have his outside shooting.
Eric Harris, too. If you give him time, he can kill you with the three.
The key there is getting his feet set. We got to get the ball to him, reverse the ball quickly. He can knock those open shots down.
You've also become very adept at the long pass. This one, Bobby Jackson finishes. Sometimes he's the passer.
A lot of times he's a passer, but Courtney James now come with experience, and our guys getting to show a lot of maturity with their experience of knowing how to get the ball over the top at the right time.
After a slow start, the Gophers ended up running away with a 60-48 victory. Sam Jacobson put in 11 points and grabbed 6 rebounds, and Bobby Jackson had 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. When we come back, we'll show you a special feature on senior co-captain Trevor Winter. And we'll head to his hometown of Slayton and get the neighborhood gossip on the likable 7-footer.
Trevor's always had a knack for doing things. If you had something that was electronic and it broke down, he could fix it. If you had plumbing that broke down, he could fix it. And he could just figure things out. He's just got this way about doing it. And every once in a while, the kids in school would call him MacGyver.